All right, topic 2, lesson 1. This is about inequalities. Starts off with an equation for the warm-up. We're looking at distributed property, 4 times x and 4 times 3. You can clearly see that Jesse did make a mistake here. This should have been 12, which means you should have subtracted 12 from both sides, making this negative 11. And then divide by 4 makes it negative 2 3/4. So her answer was incorrect, and as I just showed. All right, so getting into this lesson, this is students will be able to create inequalities, represents given situations using variables. So you're using the exact same variables that we used last week. And yes, I made a nice little fancy flip chart here. We're using the revealer tool. The first question was given for you. Each lunch has no more than 3 side dishes. That means NS represents the number of lunches. Has to be less than 3, not or equal to. More boys eat school lunches than girls, so that means B is greater than G. We've got there will be no more than 7 food items in each lunch. Food items per lunch was T, and it has to be no more than 7, so it has to be less than 7. Can't be more than 7. So the next one's where it starts getting a little bit tricky. Question number 4 says, in each lunch, there are 3 more side dishes than entrees, twice as many beverages than entrees. Write an equation in one variable, so that was the hint here. So you have to think, well, what if they just compared everything to? Everything was compared to entrees. So the beverages was in entrees, so let's use entrees here. So it's 3 more side dishes than entrees. 3 more means add. So that's 3 more entrees than, 3 more entrees than side dishes. So that represents 1, that's how many side dishes there are, because 3 more than the amount of entrees that there are. Then twice as many beverages as entrees means there's twice as many entrees, 2 times n sub e. And then of course you have entrees as well, which will be just n sub e, and all of that cannot be more than 7, so it has to be less than 7. So there you go, there's the entire expression, broken down piece by piece. The cost of lunch for a student is the total of the cost of the entree, the side dishes, and the beverages. Write an equality that shows the cost of the lunch must be less than $1.50. Cost of lunch be the cost of an entree. That would be P sub E times, so that'd be the price of an entree times the number of entrees. So we're assuming that you're not just getting 1 entree, which if you assume that you're just getting 1 entree, then you could just say the price of an entree. So that's the reason why there's multiplication here. Plus the price of a beverage. So once again, assuming you're only getting 1 beverage, we would only need P sub S. But if you get more than 1, let's say you get two sides, then it will be 2 times that. And this would be for beverage. I think I might have just said beverage. This is sides. So this is entree, sides, beverages. Put it together, it has to be less than $1.50. And last but not least, number 6, to meet the district's guidelines, the total price of a lunch must be more than $2.25, but also less than $3.50. This is what we call a compound inequality. Compound inequality just means that you have 2 inequality signs. So it has to be between this and this. So if P sub L represents the price of a lunch, it has to be between $2.25 and $3.50. And there you go. That's what it looks like. All right, so getting to the homework. These questions were very similar to the ones I just went over. Those are just challenge questions, a little bit more difficult. Jade is stranded downtown with only $10 to get home. Taxi costs 75 cents per mile, but there is an additional $2.35 hire charge. So it's 75 cents per mile. I'm going to make X the amount of miles. Plus, you've also got to pay $2.35. And Jane is stranded downtown. She only has $10, so she can spend less than or equal to the $10. She can't spend more. She can spend equal to, because she can just use all of her money. Write an equation and then use it to calculate how many miles she traveled. Okay, so X is the amount of miles she traveled. So the first thing I would do is use subtraction property of equality. And that would get us down to, let's see, that'd be 75 cents per mile is less than or equal to 10 minus $2.35 would be $7.65. And then the next thing you'd want to do is divide this by 75 cents. I don't have a calculator on me today, so you just have to do that part on your own. Divide this by this, and then you got your answer. Number 5, Jasmine's dad is planning a surprise birthday party for her. He will hire a bouncy castle and will provide party food for all the guests. The bouncy house, castle, whatever, costs $150 for the afternoon. But then you also get charged $3 per person. I'll use X to represent each person. Andrew Jasmine's dad has a budget of $300, so he can't spend, once again, more than $300. Write an equation and use it to determine the maximum number of guests he can invite. Now, I use an inequality because it says he has $300. I'm assuming he can spend less. I'm going to keep it the way it is. So just like I did before, I'm going to subtract 150 from both sides. Subtraction property of equality. And that's going to leave me with 3x has to be less than or equal to 150. And I don't need a calculator for this one. Divide them both by 3. And that means x must be less than or equal to 50 people at the birthday party. Sounds like a big birthday party. All right, so there it is. There's the first lesson. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.